A beautiful evening to you, and I hope it's actually beautiful for you despite the not so beautiful events. It is a pleasure to have you join us for another hour and a half hours of news with the extra touch that goes far off the ordinary. Tonight, we begin on a cheering note as new ministers take the oath of office and the Federal Executive Council approves funds for infrastructural development across the country. On not so happy note, Nigeria and the global community mourn the passing on of a global citizen who everyone agrees was an asset. And sadly too, another Nigeria correctional facility witnesses attack, with the president stopping over to see things for himself before departing for Senegal. It is 100 days of captivity for victims of Abuja to Kaduna train attack. Their relatives are restless, and justly too. We have their reactions. Also tonight, there are more security reports on the spotlight. Not forgetting business news and interesting reports on education, weather and sports. Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg, as tonight is an unusual package. But the taste of the pudding lies in the eating. I am Fatima Mwaruba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for more updates. The 7 newly appointed ministers have been sworn in to fill existing vacancies in the Federal Executive Council created by the departure of those who resigned to pursue political aspirations. President Buhari, who performed the ceremony, charged the ministers, both new and old, to totally eschew corruption, warning that if caught, there will be no sacred cows. State House correspondent Adam Sombo reports that the new appointees have already been assigned portfolios following a minor cabinet reshuffle announced by the president.
Those sworn in to continue the lofty objectives of the Buhari administration include Iko Henry Ikechukwu from Abia State, Minister of State, Science and Technology, Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom State, Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Udum Udi, River State, Minister of State for Environment, and Ademola Adewole Adegoroye, Minister of State for Transportation. Others were Umar Ibrahim Eliakub Kano, Minister of State, Works and Housing, Goodluck Nana Opia, Imo State, Minister of State for Education, and Ekuman Kama, Joseph Nkama, Ebonyi State, Minister of State for Health. Meanwhile, following a minor cabinet reshuffle, Senator Adeleke Mamura becomes the substantive Minister of Science and Technology, Muazu Jaji Sambu, Minister of Transportation, while Sharon Ikiazu and Bemisola Saraki have been redeployed to the Ministries of Niger Delta Affairs as well as Mines and Steel Development, respectively, as Ministers of State. President Muhammadu Buhari, who congratulated the new ministers, tasked them to consider their appointments as a call to duty as well as an obligation to serve the nation diligently. The new ministers, he said, are coming on board with new energies, ideas, experiences, and vigor to join the existing team to not only escalate but accelerate the administration's efforts at securing the nation, diversifying the economy, and fighting corruption.
I charge you to work with common objectives of leaving indelible legacies for Nigerians and ending strongly with verifiable accomplishments. You must resist bad counsel, resist temptation, and be circumspect in your utterances and conduct. You must totally eschew corruption and be above board, because if caught, there will be no sacred cows.
President Buhari said, although a lot has been achieved by his administration since coming to power, there is still much more to be done for Nigeria, even as the nation prepares for the 2023 elections.
I am certain that you all recognize that time is of the essence as you assume office as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I expect you to carefully study your sectors, take wise counsel, reach out to key stakeholders, consult and collaborate with all our cabinet colleagues, and focus on driving key programs already initiated by this administration. Above all, be loyal to your president and your country.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, will in the coming days communicate to the new ministers their appropriate ministerial mandates so that the business of governance would not experience delays or setbacks. From the State House, Adam Musambu, NTA.
The Federal Executive Council has approved about 22.5 billion naira to development facilities in Bayelsa and Rivers states aimed at improving the environment. Also at the Federal Executive Council meeting, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, says, with the ongoing rehabilitation of the nation's refineries, the end is in sight concerning issues of fuel scarcity in the country. State House correspondent Gideon Ifadi has that.
The Ogoni environment is in the news again. This time it concerns the fulfillment of President Muhammadu Buhari's promise to the people that he will do everything possible to ensure a clean environment in that area. Also, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources has assured Nigerians that the problem in that sector concerning scarcity of fuel and the high price of gas will soon be resolved. Let's hear more from the two ministers as they briefed the press on the decisions of the Federal Executive Council at its meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari.
Took a very major step today by approving the award of contract for consultancy services for the design of Center of Excellence for Environmental Restoration with an integrated contaminated soil management center.
The Center of Excellence, as Minister of Environment Muhammad Abdullahi says, is meant to impact in terms of employment generation and laboratory tests for land remediation efforts. The total sum approved for the project is 449,250,040 naira, 50 kobo, 7.5% VAT inclusive.
In Yenagua by the
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, says the Federal Executive Council equally approves the award of contracts and procurement for the provision of our conference hostel facilities in Yenagua for the sum of 22 billion naira. It is expected to be completed in 24 months. The minister, when asked on why fuel scarcity persists, says this will soon be over.
price is higher than the recommended price that are accused. That is the situation we find ourselves for now. We are still dealing with that. We are engaging them. And of course, I'm sure even that is going to be taken care of. But it is not a supply problem from the government. On the issue of refineries, the rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refinery is on course. We promised that by end of this year, the old refinery will be fully operational. That's what we promised. And that is fully on course. I still stand on that.
A minute silence was observed by council members in honor of late Sanusi Barkindo.
Sanusi Barkindo really served this country both in Nigeria and internationally meritoriously.
In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
So a sad one now in Yola. The remains of late Sanusi Barkindo has been laid to rest in Yola amidst tears as hundreds of sympathizers gathered at the palace of Lamido Adamawa to bid farewell to energy icon of international repute. Yusuf Jika reports that FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello led federal government delegation at the funeral.
The corpse of late Secretary General OPEC, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, arrived at Yola International Airport by 1:40 p.m. and was conveyed straight to his family residence, where his aged mother, family, and relatives bid him farewell. Funeral prayer of the deceased held at the palace of Lamido Adamawa and was led by Imam Modibo Adama Central Mosque, Grand Kadi Amadou Boboy, and thereafter laid to rest at the Yola Cemetery.
At a sad mood for the loss of our father, brother, uncle,
a loss of somebody who, through hard work, extreme intelligence, and high level of integrity, made a mark internationally.
He has reached the pinnacle of his career and he has represented the country very meritoriously.
He left an aged mother. So my prayer is that God will comfort, and you know what it means for a mother to lose a precious son like that.
The federal and Adamawa state government delegations were led by FCT Minister Muhammad Bello and SSG Bashir Ahmad on the federal prayer, among other personalities from across the country.
We've been able to convey Mr. President's condolence messages to His Royal Highness Lamido Adamawa, and we also condole the family of the late Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo. And then also we use the opportunity to condole elders and community leaders in Yola over this very great loss, which is not just to the Adamawa community, but to Nigeria, and as a matter of fact, to the international community.
This is one death that has shaken not only Adamawa states, not only the nation, but the whole world at large.
Aged 63, late Sanusi Barkindo is survived by aged mother, 2 wives, a child, and 7 siblings. He also held a traditional title of Wali Adamawa, among other many national and international recognition. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari is deeply saddened by the death of Alhaji Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, the Secretary General of Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. In a statement, President Buhari pays tribute to the remarkable gentleman and enormous national asset who from his youthful days worked meritoriously in the service of the nation in various national and international capacities and never stopped being a beacon of light to the country he loved until his last breath. The President salutes Barkindo's leadership at OPEC, including during very turbulent times in 2016 and 2020, noting that the declaration of cooperation birthed under his watch helped strengthen and consolidate OPEC and non-OPEC cooperation and dialogue. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has described the sudden death of Dr. Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo as tragic, describing his leadership of the global oil cartel as exemplary. Likewise, Chairman North Central State Governors Forum, Governor Abubakar, calls the deceased a worthy ambassador of the nation that should be celebrated even after his sudden death. Meanwhile, the International Energy Forum says late Barkindo will be remembered as a significant figure in the history of global energy governance, and following NNPC's request, DMG events organizers of the 2022 Nigeria Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition have called off the conference's dinner and award night as a mark of honor to late Barkindo. Tributes have been coming in from key players in the oil and gas industry to celebrate the man, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, an OPEC icon and a friend, a dear that is so dear to many. Lydia Samson reports on the life and achievement of the late OPEC Secretary General.
Come 1st August 2022, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo would have finally bowed out as OPEC Secretary General after a meritorious service to join the Atlantic Council as a distinguished fellow in the Global Energy Center after the conclusion of his 6-year term. A diplomat par excellence who was born on 20th of April 1959, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo has been OPEC Secretary General since 1st August 2016. He previously served as Acting Secretary General in 2006, represented Nigeria on OPEC's Economic Board from 1993 to 2008. He also served as the Group Managing Director of the then Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation from 2009 to 2010 and had headed Nigeria's technical delegation to UN climate negotiations since 1991.
We attended the same university, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Coming from the same faculty, the same department, and we read the same course. He was a very amiable person, very up and doing.
He has been doing a lot, a very workaholic person, and as to technocrat when it's come to the oil industry, He is a household name everywhere in the world. When you mention about his name, he's somebody who has everything that is needed in that industry. It's a huge loss indeed.
His passionate approach to global energy issues played out even as Barkindo spent his last day on Earth engaging with stakeholders at the Nigerian Oil and Gas Conference.
The future for this industry, for oil and gas, remain bright. The data, the statistics, and the science all portrays that point. One, this world will continue to consume oil and gas for the foreseeable future.
As at the time of this report, key players in the oil and gas had taken to their Twitter handles to pay tributes to the man, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo. Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Secretary General of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, late Mohammed Barkindo, was full of life throughout his engagements in both the State House and Tech Investment Conference. The moments were thrilling and fulfilling for the deceased, who may not have seen his death coming, as the President accorded him a state reception for successfully completing his tenure with tremendous achievements as helmsman of the world oil body.
This charisma of yours, this international gravitas that you have in abundance, and has made my job much easier. I have learned from your experience. I tried to follow your large footsteps. We built a very strong team, and the future looks very promising. Nigeria will continue to play its leadership role in this organization, as well as in the global oil industry.
He placed the organization in a stronger position to confront the challenges it will face in the coming years. The government and people of Nigeria are indeed proud of you and the proud legacies you will leave behind. The Secretary will remember you kindly. You have done yourself and your country proud.
After the State House event, the late OPEC chairman had his last public appearance at the tech investment aimed at reducing emissions, where his expertise was brought to bear.
Before us is how should we deploy technology and appropriate policies to address carbon emissions, not about switching from one source of energy to another. Both conventional, non-conventional energy sources will be required for the foreseeable future.
Barkindo may have lived a life full of memories for the oil sector to remember, but what is striking and will remain evergreen is the long-standing impact which has transformed the global oil sector. In the meantime, as the global energy community continues to mourn the passing of an icon, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, the Nigerian Television Authority, which happens to be another home of the deceased, in this report recalls his last visit to the station, where he shared his success story at OPEC on resumption as its Secretary General. And Benny Adams has that.
On assumption of office in August 2016 as OPEC's Secretary General, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo did not waste time as he brought to bear uncommon experience in the oil market on his new job.
Outside of the organization,
he made a significant move by reaching out to the major oil and gas producers outside OPEC, known as the non-OPEC, led by the Russian Federation. On the table of negotiation, OPEC successfully sought the actualization of the Declaration of Cooperation.
And it is under the platform of this framework that we started for the first time in history working with these countries, taking decisions together, implementing those decisions together, and even monitoring the decisions. Today we have 24 oil producing and exporting countries, both within OPEC and outside, that are carrying out this work of maintaining balance and stability in the oil market.
This cooperation later led to the ability of OPEC to navigate our energy-dependent world through two major industry downturns of 2015 to 2016 and 2020 to 2021.
For the first time, we took a decision on supply to the tune of 9.7 million barrels a day. This was the largest supply reduction in the history of OPEC and in the history of the industry because of the gravity of the supply-demand imbalance. Secondly, we also took a longer duration of 2 years for the implementation of this decision from April 2020 to April 2022. And we continue to implement faithfully these decisions with occasional adjustments, moderation, depending on the oil market circumstances.
And since then, he has been an advocate for the attainment of energy sufficiency until he breathed his last. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
More than 443 escapees from the Kuje Medium Custodial Center have been rearrested following Tuesday's jail attack in which about 600 inmates, including Boko Haram terrorists, were released. Minister of Defense Bashir Magashi gave this update during an on-the-spot assessment of the facility. Victor Azu reports.
Nigerians have become familiar with jail attacks in recent times. Available data suggests that there have been 15 successful such attacks in the last 5 years. Through it all, the Kuje Medium Custodial Center had been a fortress. That seeming invincibility has now been violated, and rudely so. The signs are telling.
From the records, we believe that they belong to a particular group, and most likely they are Boko Harams, because we have sizable number of Boko Harams that are in detentions, and presently we could not locate any of them. Only number, I think there are about 64 that is in the prison, and none of them now is available. They have all escaped.
An officer of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps paid the supreme price. A few others are hospitalized and several vehicles damaged.
They came very, very determined. They came in with high explosives. The initial entry attempt was unsuccessful with a very high grade explosive, but they couldn't break it. Then they attacked another section of the wall with even higher grade explosive, which brought the wall down. And the forces on ground did everything they could to repel them within the forces, but the numbers they came with was a very high number in which they were not able to defend against.
Like in previous cases, society now has to contend with the fear of locking fugitives.
Many of them have returned. They have reported themselves to the police. Some have returned. Some we have successfully retrieved from the bushes where they're hiding. And right now, at least we have retrieved about 300 out of about 600 that got out of the jail cells. And the retrieval is going on. We receive reports that there are still about 50, 60 that have been intercepted.
This jail attack has come at a significant cost. Loss of life, injuries to personnel, and damage to property. But one more thing to worry about is the steady release of hardened criminals into society. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed serious disappointment over the recent attack on Kuje Correctional Facility, attributing it to failure of intelligence. The president made known his feelings while speaking to NTA News after a fact-finding visit to the facility. Gunmen suspected to be Boko Haram terrorists launched a ferocious attack on the correctional facility in the early hours of Wednesday and freed the inmates. The Controller General of the Nigeria Correctional Service, Halilu Nababa, who guided the president on a tour of the facility, said 443 of the inmates that escaped have been recaptured and brought back, and a manhunt is continuing for inmates that are still at large. Amongst those yet to be accounted for are 67 Boko Haram fighters awaiting trial in the facility. Records shows that during the attack, 6 inmates and 1 security personnel lost their lives, and a number of vehicles were burnt down. President, who delayed his planned departure to Senegal to enable him see things for himself, told correspondent Adamu Sambo that he was very disappointed.
The most disappointing thing is the intelligence system. How can the terrorists or whoever they are organize themselves, have weapons, come and attack this high security facility and get away with it? So what is your new directive to the security agency now? That's not for you yet.
President Muhammadu Buhari there. Let's talk politics. President Muhammadu Buhari is solidly behind the All Progressives Congress candidate in the forthcoming gubernatorial election in Osun State, and the president is expected to be at the grand finale campaign rally in Osogbo on Tuesday, 12th of July 2022. State House correspondent Gideon Friday tells us all about it.
President Muhammadu Buhari presents the flag of the party to the standard bearer and governor of Osun State, Gboyega Oyetola, when he received the APC campaign council on the Osun election. I'm briefing State House correspondent after the meeting. Senator Abubakar Kyari, Deputy National Chairman, North, standing in for the National Chairman of the party, as well as Chairman of the Campaign Council and Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, are optimistic that the party will do well and win the forthcoming election.
From the party's point of view, His Excellency, and also the public, His Excellency Governor Oyetola had done extremely well. Way above expectation.
Being to Osun State, we've seen that indeed we have a credible candidate to sell. We've had myself and Governor Ganduje and a few other governors fire me, a few ministers, we've been on campaign trail with them, and the turnouts of citizens at each of the campaign ground not only testaments, you could see joy, happiness on their faces.
There's no serious division, as it were, in APC in Osun. We have issues which is ordinarily, likely to happen in any party. We've done a lot of reconciliation. As I speak, a number of them have actually come back to join us, for this coming election. So I believe we're together with them. And in addition to that, like was mentioned, not less than more than 10,000 the campaigns came from the other party, and we still have a lot of them that are supporting us. As for the question of performance, I believe by any standard I've done very well to deserve a second term.
The Osun election is scheduled for 16th of this month, and the incumbent governor, Gboyega Oyetola, is seeking for a second term in office. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has left Abuja for Senegal ahead of the International Development Association for Africa Summit in Dakar. The association is an institution of the World Bank Group, deepening its support to drive a resilient recovery for countries hit by the global crisis of climate change, COVID-19, insecurity, and more recently, the war in Ukraine. The 20th replenishment cycle of $93 billion of the IDA is expected to go into effect from the 1st of July this year to the 30th of June 2025. At the high-level event slated for Thursday, President Buhari is expected to join other African leaders in an open dialogue on development challenges and priorities, as well as transformational initiatives that will lead to an outcome document to be called the Dakar Declaration. This commitment is expected to chart the way forward for the transformation of the economies of their countries in partnership with the World Bank and the International Development Association. The president was seen off at the airport by his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa, and other senior government officials. Let's take some time out now. When News Extra returns, families of abducted Abuja-Kaduna train passengers protest in Kaduna as victims mark 100 days in captivity.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has commenced a nationwide operation to verify COVID-19 vaccination records and validate vaccination cards. This exercise will allow vaccinated individuals correct damaged QR codes and confirm personal information like name and date of birth. It will also enable the federal government to validate COVID-19 vaccination cards to identify those that have been acquired fraudulently. To verify your COVID-19 vaccination records, visit www.vaccination.gov.ng/verification-guide and follow the instructions. If newly vaccinated, wait for 24 hours before verifying your records. For intending international travelers, verify your records at least 1 week before your travel date to avoid delays at departure point. If you cannot access the website, call 0700-220-1122. This message is from NPH-CDA.
Wash your hands, love each other, we go, we know.
Barakat Al-Salah from the Federal Road Safety Commission.
The Federal Road Safety Corps appreciates the continuous support being received from the motoring public. Road traffic crashes are trending down and concerted effort is being made by the government to improve our road safety management. As celebration approaches, it is expected that road users will undertake trips to visit families and loved ones. The Corps encourages you to conduct vehicle safety checks before embarking on your trip. Avoid night journeys, use your seat belts, avoid overloading and driving above prescribed speed limits. Comply with road traffic laws and regulations. Prevention is always the best approach to avoid road traffic crashes and injuries. I implore you all to please partner with FRSC to reduce road traffic crashes on our highways. Drive to save a life. I wish you all happy celebrations.
The House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value is conducting public hearing on the following bills. A bill for Act to provide for the regulation and conduct of the practice of broadcasting profession in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 1150. A bill for an Act to establish Chartered Institute of Information Management charged with the responsibility of regulating and promotions of sound information management standards, competence, research, presentation, dissemination, training and retraining of personnel, certification of professionals and registration of members, and for related matters, HB 1016. The hearing is scheduled to hold on Thursday, 7 July 2022. Time 10 a.m. daily. Venue, Conference Room 034, House of Representatives, New Extension, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Stakeholders and the general public are hereby invited. Interested individuals and organizations wishing to submit memoranda should forward same to the committee clerk, room 327, 3rd floor, White House, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, Abuja, on or before 4th July 2022. Signed, Honorable Odubemi Olusegun Dokun, Committee Chairman, Announcer.
I dey look for pension fund administrator. Wey stop, make sense, wey care for me. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. No. The bank picture them no go stress you. Call them then they accessible. Customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try up cost. Promisable investment, everything will just be blessed. Make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
The Petroleum Tankers Drivers of NUPEC, in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC), rejoices with all Muslim faithful as we celebrate Eid el-Kabir. We encourage all to relate with one another as brothers and show respect for the rule of law. Please do drive safely as you travel. Show tolerance to other road users. Obey all traffic rules. Don't overspeed. Don't overload. Always wear your seatbelts. Ensure your vehicle is in good and worthy condition, as extra care prevents accidents and loss of lives. It is always better to arrive the destination late than to lose your life and the life of loved ones. For any emergencies, please call toll-free 122. Happy Eid el-Kabir. This message is from the Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng. Comrade Lucky Oseswa, JP, National Chairman, PTD, Branch of Nupeng. Announcer.
Limitless IGOC 2022, August 24th through the 28th. There will be prophetic impartation and spirit-filled revival. Limitless, with host Pastor Matthew Shimalowo, Depot Oliomi, TDJ, Dr. Bill Winston, Dr. Mensah Otterville, Bishop Peter Bismarck, Pastor Theodon Batoyimbo, and Pastor Jerry Ize, live and in person at KICC Prayer City, 592G, during the 12 daytime School of Ministry sessions and 8 free evening revival sessions. Register now for the daytime School of Ministry, in-person or virtual attendance. IGOC 2022. Register now, for no word from God will ever fail.
Thanks for being there. Relatives of victims of train attack are appealing to authorities concerned to deploy whichever means to secure the release of their loved ones. They made the plea in Kaduna during a peaceful rally to mark their 100 days in captivity. Haruna Mohammed reports.
It was quite emotional for relations of those abducted during Kaduna-Abuja train attack. 100 days without their loved ones, they say, is quite traumatizing, and their prayers is to reunite with them in the next foreseeable future. Apart from marking 100 days in captivity, the peaceful rally is organized to remind government on the need to expedite action in securing the release of their relations. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Police Force Wing Command is in some form of show of force along the Abuja-Kaduna highway and other flashpoints in the north to squarely face criminal elements. Security correspondent Francis from this report takes a look at the command's air wing with about 13 helicopters, 1 citation jet, and its fleet for air surveillance mission.
It is a typical day at the Air Wing Command of the Nigeria Police Force. The Air Wing Command boasts of 50 pilots and 45 aircraft engineers, pilots for air operations and engineers for maintenance of the aircrafts. And here, the pilots are receiving their daily brief from the AIG in charge of Police Air Command, Lalladi Lalas. En route Kaduna to Birnin-Gwari from the Nigeria Police Force hangar at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport for air surveillance mission. The air patrol team is expected to monitor suspicious movement of criminal elements and report to land patrol teams for necessary action. Since the Abuja-Kaduna rail attack of 28 March 2022, the air team has been carrying out daily surveillance operations of the entire 163 kilometers stretch of the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway to ensure the safety of travelers along the route.
In the course of patrolling those axes, it is a known fact that even the motorists themselves, have attested to that fact that they have, some circle along that road now.
The air patrol teams have participated in different operations within the Northwest and North Central that led to the degrading of terrorists within the regions.
It is also a known fact that we have spoiled so many kidnap attempts, which ordinarily could have taken place if those measures were not in place.
The Air Wing Command also serves as a training ground for other security agencies.
With the approval, we have similar aircraft that are being operated by other sister agencies like the Air Force, like NEMA, can be maintained by remain within our facility here as it could have been also maintained elsewhere.
With the successes recorded, the command is not without challenges.
And other general repairs on those aircraft are enormous. Budgetary provision alone has not been sufficient for such a job.
The Nigeria Police Force Air Wing Command currently has 3 hangars in Abuja, Lagos and Enugu, taking active part in counter-terrorism expeditions. Francis from NTA News.
The effective utilization of the secured criminal database of the Interpol is a reliable platform in the fight against transnational crimes. Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba is, however, not happy over the underutilization of this platform. He did not hide his feelings at the interagency security meeting on Interpol in Abuja.
This is a meeting of law enforcement agencies in Nigeria to take full advantage of the opportunities provided by Interpol. It is a follow-up to the meeting held in France, where security agencies were exposed to the emerging tactics deployed by criminals, especially in the cyberspace.
Criminals that are bound all over the world, they are being profiled, uploaded into the system. All you need to do is to query. You have difficulty even tracing funds, and that is why we are bringing all the law enforcement agencies together.
Transnational and organized crimes impact almost all countries, ranging from terrorism, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, human trafficking and migration. So there is need for all security agencies to work together to defeat such. And IGP Usman Alkali Baba in particular about this fight.
In furtherance to this, the federal government has approved the establishment of the National Crime Data Fusion Center, which will be hosted by the Nigeria Police with the integration of other relevant law enforcement agencies. This center will have the capacity to collect, analyze, and share criminal data with other security agencies.
If we cannot solve the problems of organized crime, then nobody is going to do that.
Wisdom dictates that we must necessarily cooperate in order to achieve our mandate, and we must take advantage of available resources and information.
Beyond such gatherings, security agencies are expected to explore the I-247 secured criminal database of Interpol in the fight against all forms of crimes. Francis from NTA News.
To enhance security and promote peace in the state, especially in southern Kaduna, the state government has inaugurated an early warning and response strategy committee. Lois Apollo reports that the committee is expected to identify areas of friction among the vast communities in the area and work towards resolving them to engender even development of the state.
Over the years, peace and stability have eluded southern Kaduna for a long time, and efforts by successive administrations to address the issue defied solution.
The area witnessed communal clashes, which recorded high number of casualties and loss of property worth billions of naira. This situation has been a great concern to government, which prompted various measures in overcoming the challenge.
Inauguration of this committee, which consists of 195 eminent sons and daughters from southern Kaduna, is part of the ongoing efforts in providing lasting and sustainable peace in the area. Members of the committee are expected to work in harmony in addressing thorny issues capable of breaching peace and security. It is also the duty of the committee to provide credible intelligence to security agencies to prevent breakdown of law and order.
Though the tax is enormous, but from the look of things, it's nothing new. We are used to it since we are traditional leaders.
In every process, there must be a starting. And as an able Nigerian and somebody that wants peace and that will be able to sustain peace, I think it's a welcome development to me, and I will do my best to see that we sustain it.
Governor Nasir El-Rufai, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, said peace and security in southern Kaduna remains top priority to his administration.
So whatever we can give you to perform the mission with protection, we are going to do it with our ability.
Functions of the committee will go a long way in promoting peace, stability and security of the area. Lois Apollo, NTA News.
Kaduna, let's head to Akure now, where over 70 worshippers, including children, were rescued in a church in Ondo State by the police. But the situation, however, took a dramatic turn when some of the rescued members refused to leave police custody, insisting that their detained pastors must be released. Wait and hear their reasons. Our story in Battery takes us through the state of affairs now at the Bible Believers Church and Chronicles.
Saturday, 2nd of July 2022, attention was on the Old Bible Deliverance Church located at Valentino area of Ondo Town, Ondo West Local Government area of Ondo State, where some church members, including children, were rescued from the basement of the church by the police. It was gathered that the church was established over 20 years ago with biblical teachings of the Word of God. However, investigations reveal that at a point, the founding members of the church started exiting because of what they considered as erroneous teachings, which degenerated to indoctrination and harboring of over 70 members of the church. Some of the doctrines are that members should obey only the pastors and no one else, that students must stop going to school because rapture will soon take place, and that couples should not be seen together, among others.
Pastor Kran, the associate pastor that was ordained as a pastor here, when you want to relocate to Ghana, bring this man, that let this man be leading this church. So, and this man, as he's leading us, he told us that if this man is following the Bible, then we should follow him.
Every night in the midnight, noise making, all these children will be making noise, and we have met them severally verbally to complain about unrest that have been given to the public, but to no correction.
State Police Command uncovered the illegal harboring of over 70 people at the church in Ondo Town in Ondo State and eventually rescued them. It was feelings of victory at last for the relatives who have been expecting their children and family members to return to them. But little did they know that there's more than meets the eye. The incident took a dramatic turn when the police decided to release the victims, while some returned to their relatives willingly. Others refused to go home, demanding that their pastors be released.
I said, my brother, this police, they said they want to release you. Let's go home. He said, he cannot follow me. He said, anywhere pastor is going, we follow pastor. Even though he's fire, we follow him. I'm just begging the police officer, maybe they can bring it out for me somewhere so that we tight it. We use rope to tight him so that we put him in the motor, we carry him home.
Up to now, I've not seen my house or my wife. Here is she and the 4-month-old baby, who is now 8 months, was sleeping inside the bunker. My 7-year daughter is with her. And when they were released yesterday, I've not seen my house on them.
We still have some who have refused to leave, especially the teenagers and some of the adults, saying we're not going to leave except they leave with their pastors. The investigation is still ongoing, and at the end of the day, the law will take its course.
If they are still not ready to go with their parents, then we will take them to the rehabilitation home. That is the decision.
The issue of concern now is that of rapture and the conviction that members of this church have been subjected to religious indoctrination.
People that were indoctrinated and kept in that place, they lack knowledge, they lack understanding. They fail to read the portion of the Bible that stated it clearly, that not even the angels in heaven knew about it, but my Father alone.
In Nigeria, there's freedom of religion, but when it comes to indoctrination under bewitchment, what is the position of the law?
Proving juju shams is very difficult, and for this reason, the law has distanced himself from it. However, where it can be proved that it is used or induced to hypnotize people, then the law can punish the offenders and make the society to get justice.
Respondents urge members of the public to be wary of the type of church they attend and focus more on God. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
Your last statement, Toyin, said it all, I must say. Now, with the federal government's effort at diversifying the economy now in full swing, the judicial arm is lending its full support with the training of judges on how to handle litigations involving shipping and other aspects of admiralty law. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariola, says the quick dispensation of justice in the maritime sector will go a long way in creating the needed environment for ease of doing business in Nigeria. Olabode Arewa reports.
Foreign direct investment and foreign portfolio thrive more across the continents will lead to no time to waste on litigations. Hence, the quick dispensation of justice is paramount to the sustenance of securing foreign direct investments. Under international commerce, shipping, which is a subset of the maritime industry, is generally adjudged as the cornerstone of transportation because it is the mode through which the greatest tonnage of goods and services are hauled across continents for the benefit of mankind. As a way of promoting smooth operation in the maritime industry, judicial officers, including stakeholders in the maritime industry from Nigeria and other countries, converge on Abuja to exchange ideas on ways of ensuring quick dispensation of matters involving the maritime sector.
The industry recognized globally as one with enormous potential for facilitating and maintaining development when properly harnessed. The sector offers the best alternative in diversifying the economy, for example, from oil to a more diverse economy.
Statutes and conventions referred to in the papers, as well as rules of courts, regulations, and subsidiary legislation.
The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariola, stressed the need for litigants, prosecuting authorities, and judicial officers to have a good understanding of the Admiralty law.
This seminar is designed, among other things, to acquaint participants with emerging trends in the sphere of Admiralty law and the challenges that this digitalization and globalization may throw up on the adjudication of Admiralty matters. Judges who have experienced and participated in this seminar in the past have become better equipped.
The workshop is the 16th in the series in Abuja. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
The next stage of News Extra, correspondent takes a look at the first 10 days of Zulhijjah and a little bit of business news. Please stay.
Very top guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem soft gel.
Amatem soft gel makes treating malaria easy. Amatem soft gel is a game changer.
Amatem soft gel. I good to come on malaria for body.
For adults and children. Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
One of the reasons why I started Munira, I wanted to make people feel good about what they were. I lost my dad in 2008.
The day when the man died, I don't want to remember. School fees called the adults. Please, you know, called go for me.
My journey with NTA started in 2014. I remember the night I told my mom I had gotten the scholarship. It was midnight. I went to the room, I woke her up and I said, I've gotten a scholarship.
So happy. Neighbor week.
The tagline for the YEDP program was Turn It Up. The funding has helped me turn my dream on. My ambition is to be successful, impact lives, and generally just make people happy.
Spider from Niger, 60 years of comfort. Quality is Spider, is Spider. Quality is Spider, Spider home for sure. It's Spider, it's Spider. Thank you for the joy, memories of comfort.
Vitafoam is proudly Nigerian and constantly support Nigerians with consistent quality products for comfort and well-being. With Vitafoam, you don't just sleep, we give you the comfort that gets you recharged. Vitafoam, the fine art of living. Use Smart Cash, the secure way to send and receive money, pay bills, and buy airtime and data. Dial *939# from any network to get started.
I beg, I want to put Smart Cash wallet.
That's smart. Smart Cash Payment Service Bank. Money Matana sense.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission? Yes, but how? That's one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergent and bleach are used for washing clothes.
To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach. Oh.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Millions of Nigerians have received COVID-19 vaccine. I have taken my own. What about you? We have taken our own. What about you? I am strong and healthy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? We are strong and healthy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Go and get your job. The hospitals, churches, and the mosques. Go and get your job. Health center, hurry up now. Don't be late. Go and get your job. Bye bye, Corona. Bye bye, Corona. This message is brought to you by the National Primary Health Care Development Agency, NPHCDA.
This day ahead.
New Ovaltine 3-in-1. Smart choice for smart kids.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capsule. In your bathing water, on your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Please Dettol Shore.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Milo Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child.
Great to have you back on News Extra. The peak of Hajj exercise is standing at Mount Arafat in fulfillment of the greatest desire of every Muslim opportune to visit the two sacred cities in Islam for spiritual cleansing and rejuvenation. In this report, Juma Yusuf has an update on preparations by Nigerian Hajj body and Saudi Authority ahead of the climax of the 2022 Hajj pilgrimage.
As thousands and hundreds of pilgrims begin to leave Mecca to perform the peak of the 2022 Hajj exercise, which is standing at Mount Arafat. Expectations are high for a new dawn. Now, the latest place to welcome pilgrims is Mina, known as the Tent City, from where pilgrims are to proceed to Arafat to observe the sacred Hajj rites sanctioned by Islam at the peak of Hajj exercise 2 years after restrictions imposed by the COVID-19 global pandemic. Officials of the National Hajj Commission and Saudi Arabia authorities say every arrangement has been put in place to facilitate a hitch-free religious exercise during the pilgrimage and urge adherence to Hajj rites in servitude to Allah.
In the past, for the pilgrim to go for Jamara, it used to be 250 pilgrims at a time, but now it is just 90 pilgrims.
While in the holy site of Mina, pilgrims are expected to supplicate and seek Allah's forgiveness and pray for self and the nation.
We try and work 24 hours to make the pilgrims come, and they are and they find everything.
More pilgrims have continued to arrive Mecca few hours to the closure of airspace by the Saudi authority. In Mecca, Saudi Arabia, Jummai Yusuf, NTA News.
There are some days and nights that are classified as special in Islam. This is because every good deed within the days and nights attract multiples of award and rewards. Abdullahi Muhammad refreshes the minds of Muslim Ummah on what to do in order to earn the rewards in the first 10 days of Zulhijjah.
The month of Ramadan stands out. Special nights in it where rewards and forgiveness are certain.
Now we are in the second one, that is the first 10 days of Zulhijjah, as bonus to the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ, especially the day of Arafah, and also the following day, that is at Eid al-Adha.
The first 10 days of Zulhijjah, another open check for Muslims to gain the favor of Allah in multiples.
And that has to do with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, reported by Ibn Abbas, that Mamin Ayyamin, he said, Mamin Ayyamin al-Amal Salih, there are no any days, that is the whole year, in the whole year, there is no any days that are the good deeds are more beloved, more pleasant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these days, than to do it in these days.
When walking through these days, Islamic scholars enjoin Muslims now take advantage of its bounties with series of good deeds.
Expand generosity in terms of assisting one another, helping the needy, helping the less privileged. Praying midnight, there is fasting. You are expected to fast for the whole nine days if possible. If not, at least don't miss the 9th one.
Following the footsteps of Prophet Ibrahim, after the Eid prayers, people sacrificing the animal.
It is a sunnah tradition of the Prophet ﷺ, traced back to the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who happened to slaughter and he gave it out, and the Prophet also corroborated it. The Prophet ﷺ says the first blood that will drop on the earth, definitely Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala waive your zunub, your sin.
Some people have been posting messages, especially on the social media, indicating that it is prohibited for Muslims to fast on Fridays.
People are not fasting for the sake of Friday, but for the sake of Arafah. It's because of Arafah, and it happens coincidentally, it is within Friday. So now this is the essence, and the Prophet says it's expiated 2 years. How can you afford to miss or to lose that opportunity?
Hopefully, this explanation rests that case. In Abuja, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
It sure rests the case. As part of its broad-based corporate social responsibility, one of the nation's telecommunications giants, Nine Mobile, has initiated a nationwide career guidance for junior secondary school students. Yohana Suhassan, who covered the event in Bichi Emirate of Kano State, reports that the project promises great future for the youngsters.
A gathering like this of accomplished traditional rulers, professionals from different fields and teachers in the belief of Nine Mobile, the best reflexive mirror for these young students to catch a definitive images of what the future has in store for them. Students who just concluded their basic education certificate examination, Nine Mobile is here to catch them young, believing that building strong youth is an easier and more rewarding task than repairing broken adults. They are here for professional advice on students' career path based on academic performance, aptitude, and interest. Mustafa Badamasi and Khadija Saleh are among many students who were unaware of which subject their field of interest require, but now enlightened through the presentation and advice.
From Nine Mobile that if I want to become an engineer, I should focus on 6 subjects.
Q9 Mobile for advised me in my educational future.
Emma Obichi Nasru Ado Bayero emphasizes on asking for where they hope to impact the more rather than the course they intend to offer. Lead Public Relations Officer 9 Mobile, Chineza Amafo, believes this kind of program will bridge the gap of students' field of interest and where they perform better.
Within our intervention, which is the career counseling, to lead them, more like to handhold them to make that transition to the next level. So by the time they get into SS1, they already know the path they want to take, whether they want to go into the sciences, into the arts, any career path they want to take. That is our focus.
Career counseling program, which targets to cover the country, has so far reached out to thousands of junior secondary school students in some states. In Kano, Yahana Samson, NTA News.
Let's talk business now, as Securities and Exchange Commission to partner with Ghanaian counterpart to drive capital markets development in Africa as investors lose 16.15 billion naira to extend downwards trend in the stock market. And we have details with Musa Abubakar on Business News. Musa, let's do business.
Okay. Well, the Securities and Exchange Commission has expressed Nigeria's readiness to collaborate with her Ghanaian counterpart to achieve a common mission of protecting investors and maintaining fair, orderly and efficient securities markets. This is with the aim of deepening integration and boosting market participation in both exchanges.
We recognize the importance of coordination and cooperation concerning issues of common regulatory interest in order to mature market innovation and fair competition, as well as to promote efficiency and regulatory oversight within the West African region.
The Ghana Stock Exchange Master Plan has 4 key pillars to help us achieve the vision of a deep, efficient, diversified and well-regulated capital market with a full range of products attractive to both domestic and international investors.
Oil prices fell in volatile trading on Wednesday, extending Tuesday's heavy losses as growing fears of global recession outweigh supply concerns. CNBC reports that Brent crude futures fell by 1.29% to $101.44 a barrel, having risen by more than $3 earlier in the session. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was down 1.81% at $97.70 after rising by more than $2 earlier in the day. Now, it's been 3 straight days this week in the red as stocks failed to shake off losses recorded in Tuesday's session as sell pressure persists. At the close of Wednesday's session, the all-share index declined by 0.06% at 51,556.54 points. 135 million shares valued at 1.438 billion naira exchanged hands in 3,745 deals. Equity capitalization closed the day at 27.7 trillion naira. Transcorp Guarantee Trust Holding Company PLC and UPDC PLC are the most active shares at the end of the day's trading. Now, Fatima, is back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Musa. Now, about 6 months ago, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, signed a memorandum of understanding with professional bodies to standardize tax practices towards improved revenue collection. Now, the service has brought together council members for implementation. We have Moplang Dakok with that.
evasion has been a global phenomenon, but for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, blocking loopholes and generating more revenue is paramount for the smooth running of the economy. The collaboration between the service and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria (CITN), the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria (ICAN), and the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria (ANAN) is to ensure accuracy and completeness of value-added tax elements and other taxes.
It's all about collaborating to making sure that we fix the tax system in Nigeria so that we are able to optimize revenue for the 3 tiers of government. This is the money that is being used to fund social amenities. This is the money that is being used to pay for security and safety of our lives. So that is why we are taking this very seriously.
The professionals rub minds on the next steps to take regarding tax regulation, with focus on intelligence, strategic data management, and adopting renewed strategies to deter financial reporting fraud, among others.
You will realize that as stakeholders in terms of issues of returns, we all owe certain things we need to do for a return to be valid. And that is why we felt that, look, we should stick to the areas where we have the highest level of competency.
I want to say that in the past few years, the entire tax system has improved remarkably. We have seen so much efficiency. We're just contributing to it. We are all stakeholders in this. Building trust, building collaboration.
They agreed that all tiers of government would sidestep budget deficit if revenue is improved, resultant from the intent of this collaboration. In Abuja, Muplang Bakok, NTA News.
The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission has held Customers' Complaints Resolution meeting in Warri to address challenges facing consumers in the state. Rina Obasi, who was at the meeting, has the details.
This is a gathering of electricity consumers in Imo State and officials of Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, who are here at the instance of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to identify the challenges of electricity supply with a view to addressing them. Enlightenment lectures by the officials of the Nigerian Regulatory Commission and EEDC on the rights and obligations of consumers signaled the commencement of the Customer Complaints Resolution meeting.
We let them know that there is a capping regulation that's been put in place to make sure that the electricity they use, they are not overbilled. They are billed in accordance with the Commission's regulation and in a transparent manner.
To stand in between, spending time with complete, which is an obligation for the.
Some issues of concern raised by consumers include epileptic power supply and exploitation of consumers, which they say has been compounded by the recent failure of the national grid.
So we've learned a lot today, we've been told a lot. Most of the things we didn't know as consumers of electricity.
The EEDC should provide all consumers or customers with prepaid meters.
Give us prepaid meters, individual prepaid meters. We don't want DSS meters.
Commissioner Consumer Affairs, NEC, Aisha Mahmood, says the meeting has helped to bridge the gap between consumers and service providers.
That, utilities are asking them to pay for transformers, asking them to pay for poles and all that. So it's also not their responsibility to do that because we have provided capex for the different utilities to provide those assets.
Similar meetings by the Nigerian Electricity Distribution Company have been held in most parts of the country, while that of Imo State will last till Friday, July 8, 2022. In Owerri, Rina Obasi, NTA News.
Nigeria performance at the just concluded 2022 Mathematics Olympiad, good or bad? Answer after the break we are about to take.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capsule. In your bathing water, in your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Use Dettol Shore.
Now waiting happen, you know chop. I no dey feel well at all. I just think malaria dey worry me. Yeah, and I don't tell Taylor me meet me for here. You supposed to go hospital make you go do test now. No waste of time, Jare. Mama Faith, I beg no vex, so no waste your time. You go stand up make I take your measurement.
Measurements. If you just look the person, you go sew the cloth where you go fit am well.
Now who dey do that kind of one?
Now people wey don't conclude say they get malaria where they never do test.
I don't hear. Sense, Mama. I receive sense, so I go do am correct now. Matilo, come measure me. Make I quick go do my malaria test.
If an a sign of plenty different diseases them, plus including malaria, when you quick do test and a malaria, they go give you correct medicine. Stop the waste your money on top waiting no dey worry you and make you finish all the medicine where they give you pata pata. Now Federal Ministry of Health and American people them bring you this message.
Bye, Mom.
He's going to play in this weather. Why did you let him go? He might fall ill. And if he doesn't go out for practice, how will he win more trophies? To protect our family from illness-causing germs during the rainy season, we use Dettol soap every day.
Dettol with Germ Defense gives you protection. Rainy season brings a lot of germs, and Dettol Soap's Germ Defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol Soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol Show.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth, saying no to unemployment and poverty. Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
Adela, I'm talking to you.
Thank you. Hi there. You can price, Sha, but you're always saving on everything except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain. How? On this cleaning product. Impossible. You need the new Harpic toilet cleaner. With just 130 naira sachet of Harpic toilet cleaner, you save 4. Harpic stick formula stays longer, so it cleans 10 times better. Wow, hey! And it's safe because it's only 30 naira, giving you a sparkling clean toilet and great savings too.
Welcome back. Some students see mathematics as a nightmare. Well, that was so me when I was a student. But for others, it is a way of life, easy and enjoyable. Abdul Malik Hassan tells us about mathematics and how Nigeria did well in the 2020 Mathematics Olympiad.
Not every student understands the logic behind mathematics, even though they may be taught at the same time, but the ability to comprehend and speed differs. Interestingly, there are some who find mathematics easy and as simple as writing ABC. You find this set of individuals providing solutions to a question within a twinkle of an eye, a moment to display competence, a fierce intellectual battle by students from different Pan-African countries. This time, The 2022 Math Olympiad held in Morocco and capable hands here representing Nigeria. Wang Fon is a proud gold medalist at the competition, and this tells the Nigerian inspiring story in the field of mathematics.
I didn't really have any challenges I faced during the competition. Firstly, I want to thank God for helping me to get a great feat, which is a gold medal in this competition. Secondly, I want to thank my school and my teacher for helping me to participate in the competition and helping me to and training me during before the competition. Then I also want to thank my parents for supporting me throughout this competition.
Precious and Ogene made their debut at the competition. Settling for bronze medal wasn't a regrettable outing.
The questions were quite challenging, but I had to put in more effort to get to this stage. I really appreciate my parents, my teachers, my school for everything they've done to me, for making me get to this level. Even for what my teacher had been teaching me, I would not have gotten to this level.
Well, a lot of the contestants are really experienced in this contest, so this is my first time writing, so it was really difficult for me to get used to the timing and the pressure of the competition. But I'd like to thank God for this success, and then my parents and teachers, they all encouraged me.
Scientific it is, but mathematics is believed by experts to be a key factor to logical reasoning. Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
Let's take our final break for tonight. To stay.
Have your PVC ready. Conduct yourselves orderly. Join the queue. Cast your vote secretly. Thumbprint correctly. Do not waste your vote. Do not sell your vote. Secure your future. If you sell your vote, you have sold good roads, electricity, water, education, good healthcare, etc. Be part of nation building. Cast your vote for honest candidates. Shun electoral violence. You could lose your life for nothing, for nothing, for nothing. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Oh, hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission? Yes, but how? Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Oh.
Shey you find ogbonge entertainment? No look far o. Na GoTV dey. Enjoy better film, correct season film sef boku, plus telenovelas from all over the world, football, educational and fun channels for your children. Naija shows them like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? No darling at all o. Go carry your GoTV decoder, go tenner plus 1 month max subscription for just 6,900 naira. Be where stories live. GoTV. Love it.
Bye, Mom.
He's going to play in this weather. Why did you let him go? He might fall ill. And if he doesn't go out for practice, how will he win more trophies? To protect our family from illness-causing germs during the rainy season, we use Dettol soap every day.
Dettol with Germ Defense gives you protection. Rainy season brings a lot of germs, and Dettol soap's Germ Defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
Let's talk sports. Let's join Kenema Abdike for that.
Group C checks